Okay, just coming out. Good evening. Blah blah and all that jazz. Also, just like last week, I'm not doing this sober. For those that are gonna wonder. So since it's so close to Halloween, I wanted to go ahead and just kind of put on my Halloween fit a little bit. It's kind of thrown together. These aren't even the actual wings that I wanted to have. These are from last year. As you can see, they're falling apart. Don't mind them. I have a pair of like red like dragon bat wings coming in. It'll be real cute. It'll be real cute. So, and also look at this cool little, you know, yeah. I thought about getting white wine because it's like 9 o'clock in the morning, but I said, you know, what better, I'm going as a vampire, what better way to celebrate than with red wine? Right. Okay, y'all didn't come for that. So I wanted to go ahead and just finish up the rest of the season that we have so far, because, you know, there's a whole break in between the middle of the season, right? So I wanted to review episodes 4 and 5 of American Horror Story Delicate, and we'll basically talk about how the season's going so far at the end of this video. Also, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hayes, and let's get right into this video. So episode 4, Vanishing Twins, starts out with a flashback to Hampton Court, England, 1555. So at the start, we see a bunch of servants basically crowding around Queen Mary's door while she's giving birth. You know, they're kind of concerned because they haven't heard the baby crying, and they're basically they're basically gossiping, right? So Queen Mary's sister tries to go in, you know, to make sure she's okay, to congratulate her and everything. Writhing in pain, the queen decides to like warn her sister, let her know, oh, you know, back up, stay away, you know. And she says that the baby is a monster, right? Suddenly, the chanting starts again. So when I first saw this scene, I was conflicted because I'm just like, so I remember thinking after that scene, wow, that was actually, you know, a good scene. But then I looked back on my rewatches of this and I'm just like, I'm so conflicted because this scene is both extremely corny and yet also like kind of good at the same time. I'll explain. The Queen Mary is over here singing "Hushabye Baby, Baby Not Mine." Now, I don't know if that's an actual nursery rhyme or anything, but it's the fact that she kept repeating it throughout the scene. I'm just like, this is so corny. So anyways, there's these two cultist women that come up in the black mask and everything, and they appear in Mary's bedroom, essentially saying, gimme to the baby, right? Apparently, Queen Mary has promised her baby to these women in exchange for something, I don't know. The cultists are saying that the baby has been waiting about 6,000 years to be born. I'd be trying to give Brian Murphy the benefit of the doubt, but I swear to God, if this is another Antichrist, Michael Langdon, Apocalypse, special DNA situation, I'm out. I'm done. I can't do this no more. We then see the baby's hand and who did that? Who did the CGI on that? Who did it? Who do I have to blame? That was god awful. That was atrocious. That was corny. So her sister basically questions why she would give her firstborn, you know, baby, heir to the throne, to these random women. And one of the cultist women is just like, oh, you know, in time you will too. And she just like, no, no, I will not give my baby to somebody. And here's where we get like one of the few, like, I think this is the part where I was just like, ooh, okay, I kind of see where you're going with that. So she basically, after the sister says that, the cultist woman turns around and is just like, then you will be barren. And then the sister doubles over and clutches her womb in pain, and we hear like baby crying, like echoing in the distance and everything. And I'm not gonna lie, like when I first saw that scene, I'm just like, oh, okay. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just like that. I don't know, it's not even that special, but it's just like, I kind of liked it. And then that moment was swiftly ruined because the queen keeps saying, hush it, by baby, baby, not mine. And I'm just like, releasing all the tension in the scene. The cultist ladies then take the baby and disappear. The sister gets up, asks if she's okay. The Queen Mary's just like, leave my presence. In the flashback. So after the opening title sequence, we see Anna still staring at the dead raccoon decaying thing in the yard, and then her husband decides to come up. She finally decides to get buck with him, which I would have done from the beginning. She decides to confront him, basically asking, or saying, you know, oh, I know, you know, that Sonya chick, I know that you're, you know, after her, I know you're having an affair with her type of thing. He's just like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, yada, yada, yada. That somehow quells that whole thing. And she mentions Miss Preacher again, saying that I think that there's some legitimacy to like what she's saying. The husband is over here like, oh, you know, the hospital, the doctor, nurse, whatever, said that she's like a conspiracy theorist and to not trust her and everything. And then Anna stares at him, it's just like, you weren't there for that conversation. So how do you know what that receptionist nurse would ever said? And he takes a little too long to come up with a lie. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to be a little bit quicker than that. He musters up a basic ass lie, gaslighting her again. And it's just like, why can't you be normal, you stupid, stupid woman? Is basically what he says, and then he leaves. She goes back to the dead raccoon and continues staring at it. She then wraps up the carcass and swallows it like it's a newborn baby. So Boston CEO comes up to her while she's carrying this bloody sack, and it's just like, yo, what's going on? All up in her business. And Miss Anna tells her to go back home to her own baby. She goes back into the basement and puts the dead carcass inside the bassinet. She puts the dead carcass inside the bassinet, shushing it like she's trying to get it to go to sleep. She then turns on the little crib mobile hanging things, and it plays Rockabye Baby again, because that's the only nursery rhyme that has to deal with babies. So on her way to Kim's office, we see another one of those masked cultist ladies in her yard, and then it disappears. So at Kim's office, there's the two women, the two women from the flashback in the beginning of this episode, the two cultist women, or witches, I guess, whatever. They're in Kim's office, and they're apparently some type of PR managers, the people you go to when, you know, your career is like, you know, affected and, you know, being canceled, whatever. Them the ladies you go to, right? The dialogue here is so bad, though. They essentially try to get her to, like, make this cringy, like, weird feminist ass, like, reel, Instagram reel. They're all invasive, being real kind of rude and passive aggressive, and Kim's joining them. They're like speaking all at the same time, like, in case you didn't know that all three of these women were sus. So they go back home for the first time since the invasion, and Anna notices that there's security cameras there. She kind of looks at them weird, but whatever, she moves on. She then comes across her mother-in-law wearing this weird-ass mask in the bathroom of their house, unannounced, uninvited. And then she proceeds to tell Anna, could you give me a moment with my son? Fuck off. The mom then proceeds to be that kind of, you know, mother-in-law where she's like essentially shit-talking Anna, and the husband actually decides for some reason to like be protective over his wife. It's just like, don't talk to her like that. She's been going through a lot. And the mother's just like, oh, darling, she's not gonna break, dear. Don't worry about her. I can talk all the shit that I want to. So the husband has to tell the mom that Anna just hasn't had a miscarriage. And the mom musters up about 2 seconds of empathy. The mother was just like, aw, all right, so I need something from you. So she's suing her husband, which is old boy's father, right? And she wants him to like testify against his dad or whatever. We go back to Anna and what she's doing. She's sitting in the bedroom staring at the cracked mirror that has "Don't Do It, Anna" written on it, right? So she goes up to the mirror and then proceeds to smash the hell out of it. So next scene, they go to the hospital again to talk to the doctor because Anna's convinced that, you know, her baby's still alive, right? So the doctor's essentially like, oh, you know, that's not really possible, you know, you miscarried, right? So suddenly they start hearing the heartbeat on the ultrasound, right? And the doctor's just like, oh, I guess it was, like, I guess, you know, your baby is still alive, this is its heartbeat, and I guess what happened is a case of vanishing twin syndrome, which they describe as, you know, when you're pregnant with twins and one of the twins isn't viable for whatever reason, it then gets essentially rejected from your body, right? The husband is also there during this, so he knows that her saying, oh, I feel the baby kicking, I think it's still alive, can we go to the doctors? He was gaslighting her about that, saying, oh, the baby dead, you stupid bitch, right? So he's there, so he hears a doctor confirming that the baby's still alive. So he knows at least some partial way that some of what Anna's saying is true, right? Keep that in mind. So the next scene is basically showing the Instagram reel that they created to revitalize her image or whatever, or saying, you know, like, my body, you know, like, that type of rhetoric, right? The scene goes on for way too long. This scene goes on for 2 minutes. Over, like, just around 2 minutes. There was no reason to have this scene be that long. No reason at all. And the thing about it is that this issue comes up, there's a pacing issue with this season, and it bothers me because this season is so slowly paced. I'm 5 episodes in, and not much has actually happened. So the husband and his mom are at dinner, right? And the mom's talking bare shit again, talking about, oh, you know, I can't understand why women will desire to get pregnant so much and have, you know, start a family, whatever. You know, back in my time, oh, you know, abortions, you know, like it wasn't really an option for women. And if I'm being honest, if you would have just went ahead and had the ability to have that, ma'am, you would have solved a lot of issues for Anna. That's all I'm saying, right? So basically the purpose of this scene is to talk about how the mom went to this like psychotherapist or whatever who's considered like crazy because, oh, you know, she digs up repressed memories or whatever. So the mom's husband, who she's suing, essentially put her through all types of abuse, got her on all types of medications and drugs, and basically satanically abused her. Oh, the son is like, Jesus Christ, and the mom's like, Jesus has nothing to do with it. Satan does. So back at the house, we get another awkwardly paced scene. There's just so much dead space in some of these conversations. It just bothers me. Is this supposed to be awkward silence? Because there's no reason for certain scenes to go on as long as they do. So another scene at night, Anna's awake and she hears scratching coming from somewhere in the house, right? So she goes down into the kitchen. She's still hearing the scratching, right? As soon as the fridge opens, the scratching stops. We then get this like 1.5, 2 minute long scene of her just eating ice cream and pickles. There was no reason to have this scene in this episode. There, none whatsoever. It's basically what this scene is trying to show us is that she's going through pregnancy symptoms and she's getting cravings. We know. The audience who is watching your show, Ryan, already know that women go through. So what is the purpose of it? It serves no character development purposes. There's no plot relevance, nothing. We just see her scarfing down ice cream and pickles for like 2 minutes. And then she gets up and she starts hearing like chanting and like scratching again, which proves how this scene with the ice cream and the pickles makes no sense, because it literally cuts out. We have the scene of her waking up and hearing the scratching and everything. She then walks down to her house, goes into the kitchen, and then we have the scene with the ice cream and everything, and then we go back to the scratching and the chanting, and then her going back into the basement. Which brings the question, why the hell was there that scene in the kitchen? It served no purpose. It literally ruined the flow and the pacing of that whole entire moment. What was the purpose, Ryan? There was none. Anyway, she sleeps again in the basement on the cold, hard basement floor. She then goes over to her baby, the dead rodent in the baby carriage or whatever, goes up, picks it up, and then starts munching on it. Eating it raw with the maggots. Episode 5, Preach. Okay. So this episode starts out in Manhattan, 1987, with part of Miss Preacher's backstory, right? It kind of essentially shows her working for Lagerfeld and Saint Laurent. But then she accidentally gets pregnant, right? And as she's going into labor, she essentially gets kidnapped and then taken. So she's at the hospital that Anna's doctor works at, and he's also there too, delivering her baby, right? So we get this, like, I don't know if it's supposed to be funny, but it's hilarious. It's the camera angles, it's the close-ups, it's the dialogue. I'm sorry, that scene was hilarious. You're
gonna have to push a whole lot harder than that, okay? Come on!
So basically that scene, the doctor's sus, and then he brings in the two cultist ladies, go over to Miss Preacher and basically push on her stomach and basically force her to have this baby as quick as possible, right? She has the baby. Apparently Miss Preacher had promised the two cultist ladies her baby or something, I don't know. So back in present day, the husband and his mom are strolling on the beach. She then violates him. It's just like, oh, you know, you have this good life because, you know, your daddy paid for everything, and your daddy gave you basically this good life that you're having. And, you know, what a shame, because your dad spent money to allow you to get married to a bitch that ended up dying. I'm sorry. I would have had to fight the bitch. I'm so sorry. So next scene, we get Anna going back to Kim's office, and we see the old girl from what was it, last episode or episode 2? Basically her rival, the younger, fresher, you know, actress in the music industry who's like also supposed to be in the same like categories as her. Anna sees her at Kim's office, right? And she's like, what are you doing here? She doesn't say that, but then old girl comes up to her, all up in her face, smiling and happy. Hee. Oh my god, I'm so glad to see you. Oh my god, you know, it's award season, blah, blah, whatever. She then says, oh, I'm 21. This is hard on me. I can't imagine what it's like for you and your dinosaur big age bitch. She calls her old as hell and then proceeds. So Anna has this box of like donuts or whatever that she bought for Kim. Old girl then goes into the box, opens it up randomly for no reason, without asking, opens up her box of food, and it's just like, ooh, donuts. Takes one, and then it's just like, oh, thanks, and then just walks away. Anna don't be fighting enough for me. That's fighting words. taking my food without asking me, that is fighting words. I will bite you. Anyways, Anna goes to Kim's office and is just like, oh, so you're working with this girl now? You're working with her now? She's my rival, she's my competition. I can't believe you betrayed me like this. And Kim's over here just like, oh, you're in your feelings. I don't know what to do about that. I got bills to pay too, so sucks to suck. You're just kind of deal with it, right? At home, Anna goes into the fridge and we see about 100 pints of ice cream. So whoever did that said, you fat bitch. Since you like ice cream so goddamn bad, take this damn ice cream. We see her looking at the photograph again. This is like a recurring theme. She like looks back at the photograph every once in a while and it keeps changing. One time it changes like right before her eyes, so I don't know what that's about. So the mom is leaving her lawyer's office, and in the alleyway she, I guess, gets like a vision or hallucination or something like that of like the goats and like the cult women, witches or whatever. And Miss Preacher then, you know, once the hallucination stops, Miss Preacher goes up to her, just like, I need to talk to you. Finally, we get some dialogue as to what the hell is going on. So Miss Preacher and the mom, you know, go to dinner, have this conversation, whatever, and Miss Preacher basically explains to her kind of like what the beginning flashback kind of showed her. Oh, you know, I, you know, was this aspiring fashion designer, and I was then accidentally knocked up, and I was on my way to go have the abortion, but then these two women came up to me and was basically just like, oh, you know, give us your baby and we'll promise you the world, essentially. Kind of forced to take it. She takes the deal. She doesn't know what they wanted to do with the babies, whatever. And Miss Preacher was just like, I'm not telling you this because, you know, I like you. It's because I'm warning you and your husband and the wife, because they're like, especially the husband the husband and Anna are all in danger, right? Especially the husband, because apparently one of their highest ranked officials within the cult or whatever the hell that is, one of the members for that fell in love with the husband and then died. Yes, the husband's ex-wife was one of the highest ranked officials for this cult. So next scene, it really doesn't matter because it doesn't show anything new or whatever. Basically, it's just the doctor acting, you know, like off again. And it shows that Anna's, you know, like the baby is like negatively affecting Anna's body. You know, she's in pain constantly, and the doctor recommends her to Cora. Cora is, I guess, the receptionist of the hospital that he works at, and she's just like, oh, she's a physical therapist. You know, she can, you know, work with you, right? He also tells Anna that, you know, she can't travel right now, so therefore she won't be able to attend the award show coming up. Not the Oscars, but it's like I don't know, whatever. She can't attend the award show because, you know, she's gonna have to stay home right now. She then tells the husband to invite Bangs over, and now Bangs is Miss Sonia. Anna tells the husband to invite, you know, Bangs over so that, you know, she can get a better feel for her and, you know, she can feel out herself, right? More hallucination scenes. It's really not important. It really doesn't add much of anything to anything. She sees the doll again. It's got like blood patches in its hair, which like Anna's hair is like falling out. So I guess like whatever's happening to the doll is like a food. I don't know. It's boring. I'm bored. So at the dinner, essentially, like, well, while they're preparing, it's still daylight out. Miss Bangs comes over, just like, I know I'm early, but you know, yada yada yada. So we see Anna noticing that Miss Boston CEO is staring at Bangs, and it's just like, so we're to assume that Boston CEO recognizes Bangs in some form or shape. While talking with Bangs, Anna essentially receives a present from Miss Bangs as like a baby shower kind of thing, whatever. And in this scene, we find out that the husband told Bangs about Anna's whole like stalking situation and everything without Anna's permission, right? And it's just like, But then she's like, oh, you know, haha, you know, for a minute there, I thought you were following me. And Miss Bangs is just sitting there like, you thought I was following you. Oh. Anna mentions the green shoes that we saw, and she just like obviously gaslights Anna again by saying, oh, I never wear green, it washes me out. So, oh my god. So at the dinner scene, we get an interesting dialogue, whatever, and then we get Miss Bangs saying, pain is the touchstone of growth, right? And the husband is like, oh, sometimes pain is just pain. And it seems like Anna and Miss Bangs are like kind of on a similar page in this one right here. So we get a scene that is too reminiscent of The Idol. So Bang starts talking about how her mom used to abuse her basically every day. She used to hit her and all that stuff. And how essentially she used that pain to make arts. For those of y'all that have watched The Idol or watched the reviews of it like I did, you know where I'm going with this. And now she's thankful for her mom putting her through that, because good arts came out of it. So obviously it's reminding me of that scene in The Idol where it also takes place at a dinner scene at night. We have the woman talking about how, she's been abused by her mom pretty much throughout her entire life and her childhood and all that, in front of people that this conversation really shouldn't be being had in front of, and how the abuse was good because it then fueled her creativity to produce great art. I told y'all, Ryan Murphy is the gay Sam Levinson. I told you. What I say? My mind. I swear to God, if someone would have told her to go get a hairbrush, I would have lost it. And then there's like this part of like awkward silence between Anna and Bangs staring at each other, and Bangs has like a bump right here just like Anna, and it starts to leak. And then she, while making eye contact with Anna, just goes. So anyways, after the dinner scene, Anna wants to walk, Bangs to her car, whatever. But she basically did that to basically get some alone time with her and basically ask her, oh, have you seen this picture? She hands her the picture that she's basically been looking at this whole time. And Bangs is like, no, I haven't seen this picture before. But that girl, the husband's ex-wife, who's dead now, she looks a lot like me. Like pretty much identically to me. But like the good twin version of me, which Bangs doesn't really seem to care that much about. She's just like, oh, yeah, that's cool. We see a scene of like Boston CEO trying to go through the kitchen drawer to like look for the photo. We see she's looking for the photo and everything. Anna then confronts her and just like, oh, you had that face at her, when you saw her. Do you know her? And she's just like, no. She just reminds me of an old friend of mine. And she's just like Adeline, which that's the dead ex-wife's name, Adeline. She's just like, oh, Adeline. She's just like, Boston CEO is just like, I don't know who that is. And then turns around. Could you be any less suspicious? The audacity, she then opens up the baby shower gift that Bangs got Anna. And Anna's just like, did you just open my gift? And she's just like, yeah, I just felt compelled to. And then Anna walks away. Anna's about to piss me off. Okay, stand up! Stand up! Anna doesn't stand up enough for herself for me, and it's quite irritating actually. We then get the appointment of Anna and Cora, the one who's about to, do the physical therapy on her to make sure her pelvic area is all right, right? And this therapist is way too comfortable with her. She basically tells Anna to get undressed, completely nude, right, from the waist down. Anna's apprehensive at first, but then it's just like, you know what, let's just do it. So this is a trigger warning for SA. Just fair warning for that. So Anna's laying down on the bed or counter or whatever, and Cora's trying to essentially make sure everything's okay up inside her, and she then proceeds to do the thing, and Anna's getting more and more uncomfortable, like, hey, this doesn't feel right. Can you stop? Can you stop? She keeps saying, can you stop? And the doctor's just like, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. And it keeps going. And Anna's just like, oh my, get out. Get away from me and get the hell out of my house, essentially. Now, this next scene, I also do kind of like, just because it's so kind of cathartic in a way. So Anna hears scratching from downstairs in the basement, right? So she proceeds to start going downstairs, and then the husband is just like, what are you doing? Where are you going? And she's just like, oh, you didn't just hear that scratching? Like, you didn't hear that? And he's looking down at her like, you stupid bitch, you dumb bitch, you gutter slut. He's like, oh, you really think this house is haunted? Mind you, this is the American Horror Story universe. Ghosts actually fully not only exist, but don't really like to make their presence unknown. Ghosts will sit up here and be like, hi, yep, I'm a ghost, right in front of your face. Like, isn't it a very well-known kind of thing within the American Horror Story universe that people acknowledge that ghosts are real and exist? That's the universe you created, Ryan. So why is it so outside of the realm of possibility for your house to be haunted? Why he look at her like, you dumb bitch? Why the hell would you think this? Do you not believe in ghosts, sir? Anyway, she starts walking off, and then she turns back and just like, Cora violated me today, right? To which the husband responds to hearing that his wife just got violated by laughing. He starts laughing in her face. She then, kind of in a short summary, explains what happened, and then he proceeds to laugh at her again. And it's just like, Cora's a medical professional, so what are you talking about? As if medical professionals can't violate somebody. Anna, understandably upset, is just like, why don't you ever believe me? And he's just like, as if some of the things that Anna hasn't been saying haven't been proven true. Like, some of the things that Anna has been talking about, like the miscarriage can be shown on the security footage within the hospital. Like, her baby still being alive was proven correct. And the thing about it is that multiple of the things that Anna has brought up as things that are happening can either have been proven to him, or they're realistic enough to where it's not outside the realm of possibility for things to happen. Like, she's a famous actress. She's getting back into the groove of being famous, but she's still a famous actress. It's not outside of the realm of possibility for an actress to gain a stalker who could possibly infiltrate the house. There was a whole crime scene. They didn't dust for fingerprint. There was a whole crime scene that the police detective, when it came to the home, he really thinks that Anna made up everything, even with the stuff that he can prove himself. She starts walking away, and he gets buck and starts barking at her. And it's just like, don't you walk away from me, Anna. He brings up, she must be upset about not being able to go to the Golden Globes or whatever. And so she starts laughing in his face, right? Kind of what he did to her 5 seconds ago, which he seemed to be okay with. She starts laughing. And then he gets pissed at her for laughing at him. Mind you, he just laughed at his wife saying that she was violated, and her laughing at him saying, "Oh, you must be upset that you couldn't go to the Golden Globes." Now that's an issue. Anna then starts calling him out, as she should, saying, because he was just like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" And she's just like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Period. Just admit that you think that I'm crazy, that I made up everything. And he's just like, "Yes, okay, yes, I believe that you made everything up, even the stuff that has been proven to be true. You made that up. The whole stalker home invasion situation never happened. You were just begging for attention. Are you serious? Are you?" She's just like, "This isn't love. You're over here treating me like a child." And she's just like, "I just want you to believe me." And he's just like, "Well, I can't." So she smiles and is just like, "Thank you for being honest with me," and then walks away. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like that scene. Okay. So she goes back into the basement and holding two, I guess, of the dolls. She holds that while watching the live stream of the award ceremony that she couldn't attend. And oh girl, the young, beautiful actress, whatever, her rival, wins the category that they were nominated for. So while sitting there, she then proceeds to start coughing up what I think is like either part of her rib cage or like a fingernail, like a demonic fingernail from the baby. I don't know, but she coughs up something. So Kim calls her saying, "Yeah, I'm disappointed that, she won too, even though she probably got her the nomination in the first place." She's just like, "Oh, I'm upset too, but are you willing to do anything to win this Oscar?" And she's just like, "Yes." So Kim is just like, "Okay, well, I'll call you in the morning." So after the phone call, Anna's then kidnapped again, snatched up, knocked out, and then she wakes up in her bedroom in the morning, right? She wakes up, the husband's there, she's just like, "What's wrong?" So he shows her like a news article on his phone that shows that old girl, the actress, her competition, she mysteriously died in a car accident. And we see Anna in shock as Kim calls her phone. End of episode. I can't with this season. It's not good. And my thing is that one of my biggest problems with it is that it's boring. The pacing is bad. The dialogue is bad. The characters are bad. There's nothing attaching me to this season. The characters aren't good. The only character that I feel anything for is like kind of Anna, even though she's a dummy, even though she's a dumbass. I still feel something for her because like the story kind of forces you to, in like Miss Preacher, which like she was doing the most too for the longest time. So it's just like, can I really feel like, am I supposed to feel something for any of these characters? Because I really don't. And then the whole like the way that this season is edited, it's supposed to make you feel like you're going crazy with Anna. So it's just not it's not an enjoyable watch, especially without the context of the season. But here's my thing, Ryan Murphy, the best parts of pretty much every season, say for like Coven and like maybe like one or two others, is the best part is usually like the beginning / middle of the season. We're 5 episodes in. I'm guessing we're like kind of at the halfway point, and I'm bored. Nothing has happened in this story. Nothing has really happened. Like this because of all the awkward pacing and the slowness of this, like it makes for an unenjoyable watch because it feels like a prologue. This feels like two and a half episodes maybe, like extended. It feels like you're artificially extending this season because you don't have you don't have anything else to tell, Ryan. How do you have a story that's based off of another story in another book, and yet you still couldn't find something to flesh out the extra? You couldn't find anything to pad out the time. Are you serious, Ryan? yeah, that's my opinions on that. But yes, thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see how the rest of the season goes. I don't have high hopes. Happy Halloween to all of y'all, autumn, fall, whatever you celebrate or not celebrate. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.